Hey Homeworthy, I'm Alanna. Welcome to the Groovy House. I cannot wait to show you around. Let's go.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name's Alanna Nicole and I am a fashion and lifestyle content creator and the owner of Groovy House, the photography studio that we're in right now. I'm all about color and trying to get people inspired to wear more color, even if it's just an accessory. A bit about me. We are in England right now, more specifically Hove, in Brighton and Hove. We're really near the seaside, which is amazing. I'm actually from Barbados, that's where I grew up, and so when I moved to England I wanted to be close to the sea, and so this has been the most perfect spot. It's also very creative, it's a creative hub. There are loads of people here that are just into arts and being self-employed. And so that's why I thought it'd be perfect to open Groovy House here, a celebration of color. There are a lot of studios in England specifically that are very, very neutral and white and no props whatsoever. And I was really struggling to shoot in these spaces for the years that I've lived here. And so when I wanted to open my own, I thought, well, why not open it to other people as well and make it a whole big space for people to come. And I found this property that's actually a house. And so it worked so perfectly for me because I had so many design ideas, and so I was able to separate it. And you'll be able to see all the rooms now, but we're actually sitting in the Marrakech Room right now. That's what I do. Welcome to the Marrakech Room in Groovy House. Like I said, this was the first room that we did, so it really does have a special place in my heart. I want to show you what we kind of based the whole room upon, and that is this rug from Lawrence. It is just the coolest rug ever. When I went to Marrakech, that was the one store that I wanted to go into. Of course, like going to the markets and everything, but this store is just so luxe and so like the colors and how they use it with their prints is just so beautiful. And so I wanted to get like a full-size rug for the floor, but again, I was traveling, so there was just no way. And so we got this one, and then when I brought it, I said, oh gosh, there's no way I can let anybody stand on this rug. So we put it on the wall, and then this was the starting point for designing the whole room, and I'm honestly obsessed with it. I think the colors are just brilliant. The second thing that we then did was finding the paint for the room. I knew I wanted to do this, color drenching everywhere. I actually can't stand when like ceilings are white and then the rest of it is a bold color. I think just go for it, do the skirting boards, do everything. So this color on the wall we have from Lick, it's Red 03. Most of the paint in Groovy House is actually from Lick. They've been great and their colors are just amazing, and I love how matte it is. And so we drenched the whole space with this color, Red 03. And then we went to the couch, which is this incredible couch from sofa.com. I'm a content creator, so some of the pieces that I have in here were from different partnerships that I had done, and this was one of them. And it just worked so perfectly in the room. It's actually modular as well. So I've had people come in and do podcasts and they split it up and had it around the room, which was really cool, and then made it like more of a communal style. And also it is so comfortable. I'm ready to have this in my home, but I just can't take it away from here because it's just so perfect. And then the other thing that we did was I love rugs on the floor. And so it was really important for me to find a rug that would work in here, but that would also be okay for people to stand on, because at the end of the day, people will not be shooting in here barefoot for the most part. So we actually found this rug from IKEA, and it's just so good, but it means that if it gets destroyed, it is not so expensive that I wouldn't mind, replacing it. And I just love the black and white. I think that's another thing that I loved about Marrakech is how much they embrace color, but I also love the bold black and white ceramics and just prints that they do. The other bit of this room that I'm so obsessed with is this bookshelf with all of my trinkets from Marrakech, like I said. So we went through the market, we went into the mountains, we did so much stuff on our trip, and every single thing here, aside from this, which is from a store in England, but they source their things from Marrakech as well. So practically every single thing on this shelf is from Marrakech. Which one is my favorite? I need to tell you which one my favorite is. Oh, it's this wine glass. It is just the cutest little wine glass ever, and it has a really, really cool shape. It just goes in. I've actually never drank out of it because it's just too precious. But this is actually from Lawrence as well, the same place that I got the rug. And I just love it. I love all the colors. I think there's another thing here that I'm really, really obsessed with. It was this watering can. And as you can see, like Marrakech and the ceramics there, they just have this like boldness to them. Even though the background is white, there's just so much color and so much playfulness, and I just love this. And this is a ceramic watering can. It is hefty, but it is just so incredible. I love this shelf. Sometimes I just come into the room and just look at all the things. I just sit here and go, wow, so pretty. But yeah, I really, really love this shelf. So another piece that I love in the studio is this amazing floor lamp from Made, now that they're back. Oh, so excited. I love rattan, and it just works so well in a colorful room to just mute things just a tiny bit. And I love how it frames this area here. It's just so dramatic, and we love drama in this house. So I really love that piece. Another piece that I got from Morocco is this rug. Like I said, I ended up having to get an entirely new suitcase for this. And I thought it would just be such a nice thing to drape over the sofa. You know, everybody has a sofa in their house, and I thought, why not take this that something else could get, but make it bespoke to Groovy House. And so we put that over there. Another thing that I love is this table. Of course, Marrakech tiles are a massive thing. And so I found, well, actually my old assistant, she found this table and the side table, which you'll see soon on Facebook Marketplace. And it was such a great find. And it looks like real tile, but it's actually not. It's plastic, which is another thing that you have to kind of think about when you're having a studio. In my house, I would probably be like, I'm not getting like a fake tile plastic table. But in a studio, it works perfectly because you can lift it up and move it wherever you need to make this space adaptable for you. So it looks real and super authentic, but it is so light and honestly kind of fake. But I love it for the purpose that it has. And the amount of people that have asked me where this table's from is unbelievable. So I wish I had more so that I could sell it to them. But yeah, I love this table. So speaking of the table, we have her sister over here, the side table to the bigger table. And I just love this little moment. And I love this lamp situation and the table, the stand. You'll see in Groovy House, I love curves. The branding has a lot of curves and waves, and I just love shapes. And so finding different things like this that really reflect the brand was really important. This lampshade is from a brand called Tinker and Tallulah, and they do some incredible fringed lampshades. Like, just how fun is that, the movement? And this one is actually from their Marrakech collection, which was just like, what are the odds? And it fits so perfectly in here. I actually just put this on just for this interview. I wanted to debut her here. And so I love this. It's such a nice moment over here. The last thing that I think I want to touch on for this room specifically is this artwork on the wall. This is the only thing in the room that's not from Marrakech or Morocco. My best friend, who is Ghanaian, gave me these, but I just thought it fit so perfectly to bring that black and white in against the terracotta, and I just love this. I also found this in Marrakech, which obviously says toilet. Of course, this is not a toilet, but it was just the most perfect sign, and I just had to leave it in there. It's literally just like a metal sign, but it's just so cool. Someone just sat here and painted this, and I was like, I need to have it. So this is the Marrakech room. One thing that you'll see throughout the space is the use of curtains, but I will leave that for the other room, and then you'll be able to see more then. So I may be a bit biased because this was the first room that we ever did, but the Marrakech room I definitely think is my favorite. I am obsessed with Marrakech. I went last year, and I've always been just so enamored by the terracotta walls and the rugs hanging off of buildings and houses and the ceramics. This rug behind me I actually brought back from Marrakech in a suitcase. I ended up having to buy a third massive suitcase because all of the trinkets that you'll see in this room are actually from Marrakech. So it's not just, inspired by it. I literally handpicked everything and brought it over with me. And so I think this room is a true reflection of me. I think I'm I think when I was younger, I loved color, and it was just like a burst of color, and there was no kind of elevation to it. And I think this room really reflects where I am in my journey of dressing, my journey of designing spaces. And there's so many little trinkets and moments in this room that just really reflect who I am as a person. And so I do love all of the rooms for different reasons, but this room really has a special place in my heart. So now I'm going to take you to the blue room, which is the next room on this floor, and I can't wait to show you. Okay, welcome to the blue room. Historically, I am not a person who likes blue, okay? I'm just gonna say that. I never liked blue. But when we came into this room and we viewed it, we have this original fireplace here, which is just so stunning. I mean, this is another reason why I chose this property over something that's more commercial, because you would just never find features like this. And so you'll see this soon, but the original tiles that are here are blue, and it just has this like tracing of blue down here. And I thought, why not have this room be inspired just by that one color and go crazy with it. So again, we wanted to do the color drenching, but I was like, okay, I need to differentiate the rooms now. We can't just do all one color all the time. So you'll see that we have a darker blue here and then a lighter blue just at the top for the trim, because I just thought that that would be, just give it a bit more interest for people to look up and to have this room just be something new that they maybe have never seen before. And so I really went blue. We're gonna run with it. Everything in here is blue. The tablecloth has blue in it, the chairs are blue, the rug is blue, the curtains are blue, everything is blue. And I love this space. It's so warm and cozy. And it was getting to a point where I had so many trinkets that I was really running out of space. So when I saw this little alcove here, I said, oh, this is the perfect place to display everything. This has stuff from my travels, all over the world, and a lot of stuff from home in Barbados as well. My gran, who lives there, she was moving out of her house to downsize and told us, all of the grandchildren, that we could come and take whatever we wanted. And so I went straight for the cups and the glasses and found anything colorful. So she's got all these little glasses like this. You'll see moving forward that there are lots of different colors around the house, but these were her wedding presents from 60 years ago that she never ever used. And so I said, I'm gonna take those. And now they're just jotted around the house. And when I come in here, I can think of her, and it's just incredible. These cups as well were hers. And so I'm just really loving being able to have the opportunity to display things that hold a lot of meaning for me. And also just like fun things that have no meaning at all, but are just cute, like this little olive cup that, what is this good for if not looking just the cutest thing ever? And so that's actually my favorite pastime. Even though I do fashion mainly for my job, I actually have a lot more fun shopping for homewares and little trinkets. It just brings me so much joy. And so when I see things like this, now I have the space to do it, although now I literally have no more space for anything else. So that's another problem for me to figure out. But yeah, I absolutely love these shelves. We have this side, which you can see now, and then we also have the other side, which again is just another continuation of all of these fun things. I mean, look at this little wine glass. How cute is that? The little colorful bobbin on it. How can you not pick that up when you see it in the store? It's just so, so cute. So yeah, I really do love this room, and I always wanted to have a dining room. I always wanted, there are a lot of, especially for my job and for other creators out there are a lot of briefs that we will have where it's like, I want to host a dinner party or around Christmas. This room actually ended up being so perfect because when we were decorating, I was working with Grey Goose at the time, and they said, we want you to do a Christmas dinner party. And I was like, well, Grey Goose is blue, we can do it in the blue room. And so we had a whole big dinner party in this room with a bunch of my friends. We had it fully catered, and it was just brilliant. And so that is the idea for this room, is that all of the props in Groovy House, you can change, you can take out, you can bring your own. The idea is that if you want to have a dinner party, you don't have to bring the entire dining room to another location that's not yours. You can, if you like the aesthetic, of course, just plop yourself in here with whatever, subject or whatever prop or whatever product you need to advertise, and it's a seamless look. So This has also been my pride and joy, is having a big table to be able to do different fun tablescapes. I love layering different pieces and colors and textures and just going a bit wild with the color and the heights and things like that. I also have to tell you a little something about this table that I just did today, especially for this, which I'm really excited about. So I had found this tablecloth, which I think is just so cute. It's white and has these very tiny little blue flowers, but I was like, okay, I need to get this soon, but it was too small for the table. And so I thought, you know what, we can make this a moment. We can make this intentional and nobody would know that it was too small for the table. Because when I took my other one off earlier, I was like, oh, I really miss having the warmth of the wood here, but I also still wanted the playfulness of a tablecloth. And so I was like, well, why don't we just expose some of the wood and have that be like an intentional moment here and bring some warmth to the room. And honestly, I'm obsessed with it. I don't think I'm ever going to change this, although even though I know I need to at some point, I just really love how this looks. I love how crazy and like maximalist over here is, and then how like just bare that is. I think it's really cool. Somebody else might not, but hey, it's my house, so I get to do fun things like this. But yeah, I love this room. Since we're over here, I'll show you these incredible chairs that I have that again were inspired by this room being blue. Look at these, they're like velvet chairs. They're so freaking cute. And when I found these, I just said, oh, we need to have them. I think I might need to get a bit more just because I'm obsessed with them. And then of course, to continue on with the blue and that kind of like curved theme that I was telling you about, this rug, this scalloped rug, I had it like custom made for the house and I love it. I mean, the blues, even though we have a lot of blue in the house, they're all slightly different. So it just brings a different moment and a different warmth and a different energy to the space. One other thing that we need to talk about is the curtains that I've been telling you about. So, see, ugly door. We don't want that. So I have all of these insane curtains and I have these things like if I'm at a shoe shop and I just push it here. We hide the ugly door and nobody knows. And so again, it's all about thinking about what I need as, you know, a subject when I am shooting pictures, but also what would my clients want, you know? Maybe the light is really good in here one day and they want to shoot this way. If the ugly door was there, they wouldn't do that. And so it would be a missed opportunity. And so I thought, let's figure out a way to do this. And the curtains were that. And honestly, I love them. And so since we're over here, I need to tell you about my disco ball bar cart, which is just the coolest, most ridiculous thing ever. But, you know, if we're having fun, why not go for it? And the top even opens. It's so cool. I just love it. And this was another thing that I had gotten for the dinner party. And it was just, you know, even when the light like shines on it at night, it's so cool. The disco just lights up all over the wall and it's amazing. And then we've also got this checkered lamp over here that I just love. One of my little issues that I had with the studio when I was first opening it is that I would look at something online and just get so excited at the prospect of having it that I would be too excited to actually measure the things and see how tall they would be. So there are so many things in this house that I thought would be massive that are like down here, or that were I thought would be down here and are massive. So this was supposed to be a floor lamp that I thought would be taller than myself. As we can see, that is not the case, but it worked perfectly here. This was actually supposed to go in the Marrakech Room and be like that lamp moment in the corner, but it just didn't work that way. So now it has its own home here next to the bar cart, and they're really cute together. So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, so this is the blue room. This is the dining room. This room is a really good like multifunctional room as well. I've had people, we've moved the table out and someone has had it look like an office or a bedroom. You know, you can take all of these trinkets off the shelf and make it look like a bedroom. You can put books, speakers, whatever you need. So I really love this room for that purpose because you can do so much with it and the light is really good in here. And yeah, I just love this room, and having a fireplace is a pretty cool thing. So yeah, that was the blue room, and now we're gonna go into the kitchen. So the process of finding this house for Groovy House was Nothing short of a nightmare, honestly. It's so hard to find a property where, one, the landlord will let you have creative freedom to do something like this, and two, you have to think about lighting when you're worried about a studio. You have to think about where it is with echo and noise and things like that. And so we viewed, I would say, about 12 places over about 6 to 8 months, and everywhere had an issue. We live in England, it rains all the time. So many places had water damage. I actually did have another space before this, and I had such a dream of making it into this massive studio, and it just didn't work out because, you know, when you living in England, we have a lot of different seasons and it changes all the time. And so I viewed the property in summer when it was nice and bright, and by winter it was a completely different space. And so it really did take a long time to find this property, and you know, there have been some bumps along the road even with this one, but I am so fortunate to have this space where the landlords were just like, do whatever you want, you know? And so that's why I'm able to have such a space that is so full of life and character, because I was finally able to find the space that allowed me to do that. Okay, welcome to the kitchen, my pride and joy of this house. Now, this room is the smallest room in the house, but it took the longest to design and to actually renovate because it's so small, and because I think when you have a room that is just open, you can kind of go wild with what you want to do, right? But here there was lots of cabinets, there was, you know, a boiler, there was all sorts of stuff that you just can't take out, especially when you are leasing a property. So this space took, I'm not lying, about 4 months from beginning to end, because I just kept changing my mind. I was like, this isn't working, I want it to be like this. And so I think that's another thing with properties like this, is you have to learn how to compromise and to change, and I've learned a lot. Speaking of learning a lot, I tiled this entire kitchen myself. If you look a bit too closely at some of the tiles, they are not so straight, so we're not going to do that today. But for the most part, I think I did a pretty good job. I looked on YouTube, literally that's where I learn everything, for about 5 minutes, and then I said, you know what, I need to start saving some money at this point, because as you can imagine, this was a massive investment. And so I said, I'm gonna learn to tile. So we tiled this whole kitchen, like cabinet counter. This here, we had shelves here and cabinets that opened. And I just said, there's no way. I love trinkets way too much and we need to show them off. So we tiled this, and then I thought, you know, I want to have that color drenching moment that the other rooms have, but I also wanted to bring some more color. I wanted it to be a bit more fun. I think the other rooms are quite like sophisticated in their use of color, but I wanted the kitchen to be really playful and just a play on lots of different colors that maybe some people might not even think go well together, but I thought, why not go for it? So I had the idea to do these scalloped shelves. It was really funny when we did this by hand, so you don't really realize that it's kind of like not so perfect. And so somebody then told me at the end that you can just go on Etsy and buy pre-cut perfect scalloped pieces after we did all this work, and I had no idea about it. But you know what? Now I have a story to tell, so we're gonna go with that. But yeah, this was very difficult to do. We had to get like a little, we used a little cup and then outlined it and then tried to, do the saw by hand, and it was just a nightmare. But honestly, it turned out pretty good and I really love it. And so I am loving being able to just display certain things. This kitchen is truly a set kitchen. It is functional. You can make a coffee, you can microwave, but we don't allow people to do that here because I want someone to be able to come into the space and have it look like, oh wow, this is my kitchen. But if they need to advertise, I don't know, coffee beans or, a different coffee machine, they can swap this one out, put their one in here, and it'd be like if, they did this seamlessly. So I'm just loving the idea of having a space that is so multifunctional. And then of course we have to show some trinkets, like this box that is just so cute. I'm obsessed with checkered, if I haven't said that already, and I just love it. And then we've got some tea in here, so for guests and stuff, they can come and do different things. And then we also have this little bowl. Again, like I told you, we have a lot of like wave and curve motifs within the house to like really strengthen the brand. And this was another one that I think is just so cool. It's from a brand called Spicer and Wood. I think it's exactly Anne Clevering, but Spicer and Wood is the place that sells this one, and it's just so stunning. Like, look how cute she is. I just love it. And I'm loving having, you know, these shelves to be able to move things around. And right now I haven't like changed this design because I just love it so much. But the fact that I can is what is just drawing me to this space. So yeah, let's show you the other side. So again, I tiled this section as well, but this section we changed about 4 times, and I kid you not, I was tiling this countertop until 2 a.m. of the morning that we launched Groovy House. It was unbelievable. I was in here sawing tiles, hoping that the neighbors would not kill me until 2 o'clock in the morning, the day of launching Groovy House. It was unbelievable. This here had like a really gross industrial sink and I was just like, there's just no way we can have that, right? Because there's no way we can come into a gorgeous, colorful space and then have, you know, a horrible, scratched up, you know, silver sink. So that's why this room took so long, because we had to make so many changes. We put in this amazing curved ceramic sink, and of course we needed a brass faucet. It just has to be done. And so I really love this space. I love being able to move things around. We've got our Nespresso coffee machine that is orange because it has to, you know, we have to fit the vibe. And I want, you know, to be able to offer guests coffee when they come. And so it was really important for me to, you know, have things that are functional, but also fit the vibe of what we're doing here. So yeah, I love the kitchen. It's small, but she's so cute. And we've had a lot of people come in here and be able to use the kitchen for even fashion shoots. And you can just, you know, use the space for whatever you want. Oh, there's one more thing that I forgot to talk about. We need to talk about these incredible curtains that I had custom made for Groovy House. So our main branding colors are orange and pink. And so I thought we needed to have, I love these kitchen curtains that people have in their house. Like sometimes they'll put it on, you know, windows, but I love it under a counter. And so this is from a brand called Colors of Arley, and they custom made these for me. We did the thickness together, the exact color together, and they are just so beautiful and just hide all the ugliness behind that nobody will ever see or know is there because we have beautiful curtains. So yeah, so this is the kitchen. The next room that I want to show you is the blank space. This is the one neutral room in the house, but we're not going to end there. We'll end in the wardrobe with more color, but let's go up there now. So if you can't tell, I love color. I'm obsessed with color. For me, color is a way to just help me throughout the day. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. And so I wanted a space that would reflect that. And it was really important for me to have a space that was also true to myself. There are a lot of, you know, I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this because this is what's trending right now and this is what's popular. And so for me, it was really important to stay true to myself and who I am as a person who loves color. I love trinkets, and I've always been inspired by interior design and wanted to do it myself. And I didn't actually realize that it was something that I was good at until we got into this space. I mean, this is the first space that I've ever designed by myself. Every single room was designed by me. A lot of the renovation was also done by me. You'll see in the kitchen later, but I tiled it myself, which was absolutely insane. But yeah, it was really important for me to have a space that reflected who I was, and then hopefully the business would work because people would love what I was doing. Instead of me trying to do something that other people liked, it would not have been authentic, it would not have worked. And even though I think it is a bit of a niche market, the people who have shot here have absolutely loved it and have said that they have seen nothing like it before. So just because of that, I think it was really important to stay true to who I am, and that is someone who loves color. Welcome to the blank space, the one neutral room in here, but of course, it was my opportunity to have some plants, which was the best thing ever. My old studio didn't have a lot of natural light, and so when I brought my little plant baby in there, it died, and I was so sad, and this one is flourishing, and I'm so happy. We actually need to name her. I need to name her. That's my homework for today. But this room, like I said, was the one neutral space. At the end of the day, I'm running a business, right? I have to think about the fact that there are some people that might not want full-on color, that will hopefully wear a colorful outfit in here, but it can pop like this one is doing here. So this room, because it has the best natural light in the whole house, it's the south-facing room, I thought that it would be the perfect space for the neutral backdrop and to really have it pop, right? So this room, something that I'm really proud of, again with my curtain trick, I thought, we need to make Groovy House like a one-stop shop for people. If you want to come here to do lifestyle photography, but maybe, I don't know, you're, promoting a vase or not even promoting it, if it's your own company and you need to do some econ shots, you need a space to do that and you need a white backdrop. So we put a mount behind these curtains, and now you can have all of your coloramas here that can come down, and we've got different colors and you can go wild, and it means that the curtains hide it and nobody ever knows what's behind there when they come in. They just think that the wall is just, textured with the curtain. And so I thought that was another great use of the curtains, and I've told a lot of people about this curtain trick, and so many people have said, oh my God, I need to do this like in my house or my office or wherever. And so it's been really, really good. And so this chair is my pride and joy. It was so ridiculously expensive for something that you just sit on, but she is so cute. And when I finally had my own space, I was like, you know what? If now is not the time to splurge, then when is? Because hopefully soon this will be making me money instead of the other way around. So I just love her, and I love the shape that she has. And then just such a dramatic thing to sit in, like look at that. I just love it. And sometimes I just sit here. I have my meetings in here. We have an office, but I just love sitting in this chair. So I just sit here all the time and do my meetings next to my plant that I just look at in awe and joy. And so this room is really special to me, even though, like I said, I am a color girl, but sometimes you just need to switch things up. And so I'll show you the fireplace that we kind of made ourselves right over here. So again, we're in a really old house, and I love that we're in an old house because there's so much character, but it means that you find like really odd things, right? So there was a fireplace here, but they covered it up. So when we got here, this area had tiles that were honestly so cool. They were like vintage tiles, but they were broken because not only did they put concrete on top of them, but then they put carpet on top of them. And so we had to rip everything out, and then I went, oh my gosh, but this is the perfect spot to have another fireplace. So I actually made this whole thing myself. So I tiled the bottom here to make it look like a fireplace. I went scouring vintage shops just to find this mantle to make it look like it was a fireplace, like a real functioning one. We put some really cool wallpaper here, and then of course I had to go with the brass, and we put this brass like vent cover on top. So many people come in and think that this is a fully functioning, working fireplace, but it's really just being held up by 2 nails, but who has to know, right? But I just think it's so cute, and I love the black and white. I love the white and the green, and it's just another space for us to have a bit of a moment here, and I'm just obsessed with this section. And of course, my mirror that I got from Oliver Bonus is just so cute. So even though this is the neutral space, it was not going to get away from my love of trinkets. So again, with the curves, I know I'm a bit obsessed. I found this really cool bookshelf that is curved. Like, how cool is that? I don't know. I'm not even sure how I found it, to be honest, but it's so cool. And so I got a lot of these trinkets from Marrakech as well, and then some from like little independent stores in Brighton that are just absolutely incredible. And so this was another moment to bring some texture even to a space that is neutral, right? So like there's not a lot of color here, there's just this one green thing, but you don't come in here and go, oh wow, this is like super minimalist, and super boring. And so I just love being able to display different things. And it means that, again, if a client comes in, has a product that they want to display on the shelf, it's a candle, they can move the candle, put it here, and it would look like they intentionally made this space for that exact shoot. So I really love this. I really love this space. I love the fact that we can do so much with it. And we also need to talk about the floors. When we got this property, like I said, the whole house was carpeted, okay? And you don't know what's going to be underneath until you sign the lease and then you start taking up the carpet. And I had a dream of having incredible wooden floors, and we lifted up the carpet and there was original hardwood floors. And I was so happy because the amount of money I would have had to spend to do that, I don't even know if we would have been able to do that. But we have hardwood floors here and they are just so stunning. And especially in this room, when the light is hitting them, it's just so magical. And it was honestly just a dream come true to be able to have a space like this and to have such a gem of original hardwood floors. It's just, as people would know in this country, it is very hard to find, and it's very hard to find them in a good condition as well. And so the last thing I want to show you is just over here. I went to the Moroccan store in the lanes in Brighton, and we found these incredible mirrors that I just thought would bring just a little bit more texture and a bit more interest to the room. And we have some more candle holders here. And again, this vase that I'm just obsessed with. And so, yeah, I really do love this room. A lot of people have used this for different things like music videos. And again, we have the e-commerce possibilities here. So I really do love this room. I love that the light is so perfect. It being south-facing is just a dream come true. And yeah, I'm really proud to have this space. So next up, we're going to go to the wardrobe, which is the one space that no client can go into. And it is my actual paradise because I always dreamed of having a walk-in closet. And when you see it, you'll see how chaotic, but how incredible it is to have. So let's go to the wardrobe and let me show you all my little goodies. So designing Groovy House, I definitely think has been different to designing my home. One, because my partner will know this, now that I live with him, all the choices, have to be joint. And so designing this space, I was just able to go wild. And, he comes into the space and he's like, oh, I didn't know you bought that chair. And I'm like, nope, no, you didn't know I bought that chair. And so for me, it's been so nice to just be able to express myself however I want. But I think, there are different things that you have to think about when you're designing a studio like this than a home. It was really important for me that I made sure that every angle in the house was somewhere that you could shoot. So you'll see when we go through the house that a lot of the doors are covered by massive curtains, because normally when you have a doors, even the nicest of doors, not like the best thing to shoot in front of. And so I had to think about different angles and different shooting spots that clients would want when coming in here. And so that was a really different frame of mind. I think also at home, I love color in my home, but I also want to, because color is my job, I do like being able to go home and have a little bit of a respite and a bit of a toning my brain down. So in our home, the walls are white and we have lots of colorful trinkets around. But I do think that when we eventually buy our home, I'll be able to merge the two a bit better, have spaces that, can have my brain be shut off from the world of work, but also have spaces that still inspire me. I think that was one of the things about designing the studio as well that may be different to someone's home, is that I wanted people to come in and feel inspired and maybe take some design elements for their own home or for their own work. And so I think there was just different frames of mind. Even designing Groovy House, for me, I wanted a space that was full on color, every single room. But I did have to think about the fact that this was a business. So we do have one room called the blank space, which is a neutral room, but it's full of texture, even though it's not full of color. So I think that was something else that I had to think about. Sorry, let me do that again. So I think that was something else that I had to think about was, okay, I'm running a business. There may be some things that someone else might want that I don't 100% want. And so I thought I would incorporate that just to give people variety. Whereas in my own home, it would really just be up to me and my partner to figure out what we wanted. Okay, welcome to the wardrobe. This space, honestly, when I walk in here, I'm just so happy. There's just so many colors. This is like my ultimate dream, right? Not only do I love color, but I love prints and I love clothes and I love jewelry. I'm jewelry obsessed. And so having one single space where that all is just, my heart is just happy walking into this room. So, wardrobe. I said, again, we needed a color and we didn't have any yellow really on the walls in Groovy House. And so I thought this would be the place to do it. Then I said, I need to have shelves for the shoes. And I thought, Okay, another opportunity to bring another color in. So we did orange here, and my mom had the brilliant idea of telling me to put these shelves on this little rack, like trail thing here that you can't really see, because my shoes sometimes change. Like if I don't know, at some point have more boots than I have more small shoes, then it means if I had stuck these to the wall, I wouldn't be able to change things. But now I can move these boards whenever my shoes change. And so I was like, Mom, you know, you're onto something there. And I absolutely love the shoe wall. It is like something that I'm so proud of and to be able to have. But again, the issue is that I'm having all these spaces because I'm like, oh, I finally have somewhere to put all my shoes. And now they're full again. And so now I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. But yeah, I love the shelves. They're so cool. And of course, you'll see in this room, everything is color coordinated. The shoes are color coordinated, the clothes are color coordinated, the bags are color coordinated. We love color coordination. So over here we have the yellows, and I did have to put more oranges over here from the other side just because I have so many orange shoes. But for the most part, we have yellows and greens and blues. This is like the cool tone side of the room. And so that was also a really fun thing to be able to do, is just color coordinate everything. And then we have our mirror over here that I'm so obsessed with. There is a designer called Gustav Westman, I think is his name. He does some incredible wavy, chunky pieces, but oh my gosh, is it expensive. So I had to just take a bit of inspiration from him, hope he doesn't mind. And we made this wavy mirror. This was a mirror that I had from like HomeSense before, and we made the frame for it. And it was just really fun to just be able to do it by hand, because it meant that it wasn't perfect and it had some interest to it. And it's just so fun to be able to do like outfit pictures here in a cool, fun mirror. So the idea for this room at first was to have like, you know, the IKEA walk-in wardrobes, like pack systems that you can just do whatever you want with. That was the idea for here. But I was getting to the point where I was like, Alanna, you need to save some money. So I had to go on Amazon, and we got these like double racks, and honestly, they're working really well. I have a feeling that at some point it's gonna collapse on me and I'm gonna have to do it all over again. But for now, it's working. And so here we have all of my tops, and then we've got my blazers and suits, like sets. And then we have cords here, and then all of the dresses here. And as you'd see, everything is color coordinated. So it means that if I'm like, I want this specific thing, I know exactly where to go to get it. And so another thing that I really wanted was, I think if you like think about, you know, a lot of like American walk-in wardrobes, they always have, not always, but the ones that I really love will have a little island in the middle of the room. And so I went on IKEA and found just like a regular kitchen island that was white and wood. And I said, we are going to DIY this and make this into my jewelry kind of cabinet storage area. So again, I tiled this and had such a fun time doing it. And even though this one is the one that's like covered the most, this is actually the best tiling job that I've done. All of the tiles are straight, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And I also made some makeshift curtains here to hide the fact that there's more storage underneath here. But it was such a good little idea that took me like 10 minutes to do. I just went to the fabric store and found some really cool fabric and put it on a little rod, and it was perfect. And so we then got this trim and put this here. The idea for this room was, okay, I'm going to have a lot of clothes that are really colorful, lots of prints, so why not just go for that, right? If there's an opportunity for us to have another color or have another print, just go wild. So we have this circle, and then we have this one that's a different color, and then we also have these curtains behind here. That's a whole other color scheme and other fabric and other design, you know? So behind this curtain is actually my office, which we're not gonna go in there because it is a storage unit at this point. But it meant that the same way that we are shooting here now, I'm able to do that because behind this wall, it is so ugly. So I thought, we're going to do my curtain trick again, and we're going to find some really, really funky ones and put them here. And I'm just obsessed with this wall because it literally looks like a painting here, but it's really just curtains that I thought I would only need one of, and then 2 more of, and then I ended up having to buy 4 more of them, and they're not from England, so it ended up being very expensive. But honestly, so worth it. I love them. And oh, we have some more clothes over here, of course. We have all of my oh god, I'm forgetting words. All of my trousers and skirts here, and then shorts as well. And then we have all my winter jackets that I cannot wait to wear soon. Lots of color. Just because winter is coming does not mean you have to wear black. If this isn't proof, you can get colorful winter clothes as well. So yeah, I'm obsessed with my coats. I can't wait to wear them. And then the last little space of the studio that I love, just watch everything there. So I always wanted to have like a dedicated work area. That's something that I didn't really have a lot of in other spaces. You know, it would either be like, you know, a makeup desk, or a desk had to be, you know, just multi-purpose, which is of course fine. But I wanted to have a space where I could go to sit down and to edit and to work. And so luckily, Apple actually loaned me this this computer, and so that was amazing. I was like, you know what? I think I need an orange Mac in the studio, and they were like, you know what? We'll get you an orange Mac for the studio, and that was just so incredible. And so we have the Marrakech Room as the wallpaper, because I'm like, why not? I'm obsessed with the room. Let's have it there as well. And so I just love having this little area. You know, I can sit down, I can edit my photos on my fancy Mac, and oh, it's just so great. It's just so nice having a dedicated space where what would happen is that, you know, it would be somewhere where I had to do my skincare or whatever, and you have to move everything off, put a laptop, or move everything back to put the makeup. And so it's just so nice having a space where nothing moves and it is only 100% for work. So the last, oh, hold on. I have to show you Smiley. So this is actually a lamp, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to plug it in because I hate wires. And she's really cute anyway, just like this. So I have her on the floor, my little Smiley, just to, you know, bring the vibes going. I actually have my own jewelry collection with a brand called July Child. I'm wearing most of them on my hands right now. It's very, very colorful as usual. And yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. Please ignore the plaster, because when you DIY a whole house, things happen and you get cut. So that's what happened to me. But I am jewelry obsessed. And so having my own collection was a dream come true. But I also just love jewelry in general. So all of these little boxes just have more and more jewelry in them. And so I found this really wavy tray that's, you know, for a kitchen. I was like, how perfect would it be to display my big necklaces here? Like this one. This is a really cool choker that I got recently, and I'm just obsessed with it. I love the color. I love how bold it is, and you just wear it just like that. Put that back down. And then I've also got lots and lots of earrings in here. Look how cool these ones are. I'm just obsessed with them. They're so fun. And I had said in another interview recently that if there was something that I needed to, you know, save if there was a fire, it would be everything on here. I don't know how I would do it, but this is where I'm running first, is all of my jewelry, because I just love it. I mean, you honestly, in my opinion, you cannot have an outfit that is well put together until you accessorize. And so having a space to be able to put all of it here, I can't even say all of it, because on the other side is the overflow of stuff. Even this doesn't fit everything. But it was really important for me to have a space that just celebrates the color of the jewelry and just like the whimsy of it all. So I want to show you some of my favorite pieces, like my clothing pieces. I am obsessed with this designer, this brand, called Kai Collective. It's my friend, her name is Fasayo, it's her brand. This top is actually from her that I'm wearing now. And I'm so obsessed with it, I actually have it in another colorway. Let me show you. It has to be done. And these tops, honestly, are like neutrals for me, you know? You can wear anything with this. It's so good. You can wear it as a dress, you can wear it as a top, with skirts, with trousers, as a cover-up, with bikinis. It's just the most versatile piece ever. And a lot of people look at it and think, oh my gosh, this is too much for me to wear. But because it's so much, the possibilities are endless. And let me show you something else. Ooh, what should we do? Something with the drama. So I have, oops, one second. So I have this jumpsuit from an African brand called Tongoro, and it is just the most incredible thing. Like, look at these sleeves. If you walk in the room wearing this, you are the drama. You are the main character. And you know, that's what we should be when we dress up, you know? And so I just love this. It's way too long for me, so I actually have to get it tailored. But I'm obsessed with the colors. It reminds me of home, reminds me of being in Barbados, the blue. It just looks and feels and moves like water, you know? That's what it reminds me of. And I'm just obsessed with it. And it has a little cutout hair. Oh, it's just so good. This brand knows how to design good clothes. So I also needed to have a little section for my sunglasses because I have a lot of colorful ones. So we were able to like kind of color coordinate them on this shelf here. And I just think it's such a cute place and just a nice way to display stuff like that you would normally have hidden away. And we've got this Keith Haring print that my partner got for me for Christmas because I'm obsessed with Keith Haring. I actually have a Keith Haring tattoo. I just love him. He was just so brilliant and I love his work. And so it's nice to just be able to have this moment with the colorful sunglasses and his print there. And so, yeah, this is the wardrobe, my favorite room. Outside of the ones that other people can go in. This is where I spend most of my time, and honestly it just brings me so much joy. Every time someone comes in here, they're like, oh my god, I'm happy, you know, there's just so much color, there's so much joy around. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with Groovy House, is to have people come in and go, oh my gosh, maybe I should start putting color on the walls. Maybe I should have a colorful lamp or a colorful table. And so I really wanted people to feel inspired when they came here, but also have an outlet for people to, you know, do their work and not just be like bogged down by the same old, sorry to say, dreary white studios that are around. And so, yeah, this is Groovy House. I'm really proud of it. She's my baby. And we've actually got some more rooms that I still need to renovate. So maybe you guys will just have to come back when that happens and we'll do a part 2.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.